Game 1 to the Dodgers. Padres responded in Game 2, and now the scene shifts to San Diego and the cauldron that is Petco Park. So we came into this series thinking I had a chance to be crazy. It has been. Dodger fans, Padre fans, baseball fans just dying to know what's coming next.
Game 3 is very important, and the Dodgers have work to do. But this is two great teams that do not like each other at all.
For 2 days, this series has been consumed by talk of how Manny Machado, between innings, threw a ball toward Dave Roberts in the Dodgers dugout. The war of words largely subsided today. It's time, again, to play ball.
Now, who knows what tonight has in store? So many layers to the drama of this series, and Michael King, who looked unhittable last week, has it.
And he's got his hands cut off for the leadoff hitter because he's had his number a little bit.
Sweeper for a swing and a miss and strike 3.
He's a strikeout machine lately, and he's been in rhythm. Now the key is going to be early. First pitch, can Mookie Betts disrupt that rhythm? Mookie has been struggling a little bit. You can't press and get 8 hits in one at bat, but all you need to do is get that one hit to get it going, and you could crack it open.
On 3-2, Mookie Betts hooks a fly ball down the left field line. Profar back, he's at the wall in the same spot as last game. Different result. Nearly an instant replay. Profar and Betts coming together at the wall. And now they're going to officially signal a home run.
Oh, Betts was so filled with bad luck, he started walking off the field.
Oh, my goodness.
He figured that he got it again. He laid off the breaking balls away and got the breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Great job by Betts, and a good job and a start for the Dodgers.
Can you believe how similar that is? That is uncanny, and that close to Jurickson Profar taking a home run away again.
Wow, it touched his glove.
As Freddie Freeman sends this one high in the air to shallow right field for Fernando Tatis Jr. 2 out. And the inning continues for Max Muncy. Ground ball to first, a rise to the bag, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the first inning.
Meanwhile, on the mound for LA, right-hander Walker Buehler. Buehler has a 1.82 ERA in 13 career starts against the Padres.
Luis Arraez smacks the first one to left center field. That is going to be caught by a sliding Tommy Edman, who was screened by Hernandez and still caught it.
Well, we've seen some great defensive plays already in this series. And that right there is a man that's calling it the whole way, tracking it.
Fernando Tatis Jr., 2 home runs in Game 2, 9 out of 14 in the postseason, and it just looks like a guy that has no holes. Bounces it left side. Muncy charges and gloves. 2 out. It's Jurickson Profar. Pop up on the infield, and Walker Buehler back in the postseason where he has always brought out his best. A 1-2-3 first inning. Off and rolling in San Diego. After that chaotic top of the 7th inning on Sunday, it was Manny Machado that pulled the team together in the dugout. His message was stay focused, and they followed that by icing the game. 6 runs over the final 2 innings.
Machado, hard hit ground ball up the middle and into left center. That's a base hit. First hit of the night for the Padres. A leadoff single for Machado. And in business here with Jackson Merrill coming up.
It's another curve and a grounder to first. Backhand Freeman throws the ball into left center field. It may have ricocheted off of Machado, and the Padres are in business in the second.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Freddie made a great play, but because he was on his knees, he couldn't get up to get the ball out of the throwing lane of where Machado was running. He wanted to get that second out. Machado then did step inside the baseline a little bit.
Good base running for Manny Machado.
Yeah.
The Padres are at the corners with nobody out. Bogarts on Sunday hit a home run, immediately went down into the clubhouse, left the game with a cramp in his hamstring, but he's back in there today. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Runner come in from third. Throw over to first, and they get none. Everybody's safe, and the game is tied.
That is just outstanding recognition by Jackson Merrill.
That is 2 ground balls induced by Walker Buehler and no outs from him. The defense letting the Dodgers down here. David Peralta.
2 on, nobody out.
Ground ball down the line and a fair ball for Peralta. Padres have taken the lead. 1 run is in. Here comes another. Lux will hang on to it. A 2-run double from David Peralta. And the veteran role player has been so much more than that in this division series.
And this inning, which really could be almost over, doesn't have an out.
5 games in the postseason. The Padres have scored 17 runs. Cronenworth punches a bouncing ball. Rojas will keep it in the infield, but the beat goes on. Still nobody out.
Now it's Higashioka.
Drilled in the air to center field. Edman going back. It's going to hang in there. Just got under it. Plenty deep enough to bring home Peralta. 4-1 Padres.
Padres have really kind of scored some points here in the second, but they're looking for a knockdown.
On an 0-2 pitch, a missile. Fernando Tatis Jr. Electric.
Two-run homer, Fernando Tatis Jr. And it is a 6-run second inning.
And this guy is extremely hot. 10 for 16 in this postseason, and the hits just keep coming.
This guy's so strong right now and so locked in. We talk about Shohei Ohtani and the great year he's had. This is the Padres version of Shohei Ohtani.
The Dodgers all of a sudden have 2 on and nobody out for Mookie Betts, who hit a home run back in the first inning.
Smacks another base hit. Betts is 2 for 2. They're going to stop the runner at third, and the bases are loaded.
And that's going to be the night, unfortunately, for Rojas.
Yeah, if you're dealing with what he's dealing with there, that groin adductor, and the Dodgers lose one of their key fielders.
Still loaded. We're now 1 out.
Hernandez walked his first time.
Dodgers trailing 6-1. This is a golden opportunity to chip into the deficit, though. Hernandez hits a high fly ball. Center field. Merrill going back. He's on the warning track at the wall. Gone! And grand! Teoscar Hernandez barking down the first baseline. A grand slam, and the Dodgers are right back in it.
Teoscar Hernandez, the lightning strike the Dodgers needed. It's 6-5. Postseason baseball, the twists and the turns and the punches and counter punches. But Walker Buehler dejected. He's thinking, what have I done? This game might be over. Teoscar says, hold on, buddy. Grand slam, 1-run game. What's going to happen next? Walker Buehler did 2 things last inning. He had a bounce-back inning and a shutdown inning on just 10 pitches.
Yeah, he did. That was huge. He got over the emotional roller coaster. And
grounds this one to second for Gavin Lux. 4, 6, high throw, but 3. And Freddie Freeman down to that bad ankle and limping his way back towards the dugout. Dodgers get a double play, but the bigger question, the status of their first baseman. You're going to have to rip this guy's jersey off him. Freddie Freeman is due up third in this inning, and no hesitation getting the batting gloves and the helmet to go up there to hit. Hit sharply, backhand stab by Bogart. Skips a throw over in time to get Betts. Takes a hit away from his old Boston buddy.
Beautiful glove work. Sat down on the low liner, able to pick it, and then the nice long one hop.
Freeman swings, golfs it the other way, right at Profar. Jurickson there. He makes the snatch catch, and it is a 1-2-3 for King, who has put down 8 in a row since the grand slam by Hernandez.
Well, you know Walker Buehler, he does not want to come out of this game. Just 73 pitches.
this has been just a great outing that I'm sure Walker Buehler will be frustrated with. But at the end of the day, he has done everything that he could do to keep his team in it.
And how about this? He's going to stay in the game. That might be the first time all year Dave Roberts has gone out to visit a starter and not removed it.
First and second now for San Diego. Xander Bogaerts will be the batter from the right side. Broken bat. Ground ball to short. Edman goes to second, and they get Merrill just in time. And that gets Buehler through 5 innings at Petco Park. A gutty performance by him since the second inning.
Jason Adams on to pitch the top of the 7th.
And all of a sudden, we're getting quick outs or clean innings from chaos to nail-biting time.
Andy Pajes with Ohtani waiting on deck.
Hope you got the right sound system on your TV to appreciate how loud this is.
And a swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup, and a 9-pitch battle ends the at-bat. A 1-2-3 7th for Jason Adams.
Padres trying to stop the Dodger order, top of the Dodger order. And Shohei Ohtani, it's the 3rd time in 3 games John Tanner Scott comes on to face him. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shohei Ohtani in the postseason for the first time. Got him with a slider on the corner. Locked him up, 1 gone.
And Tanner Scott strikes out Ohtani for the 3rd consecutive game.
He'll be up to the hobbled Freddie Freeman. 2 out, nobody on in the top of the 8th inning.
Ground ball, base hit center field. First base runner for the Dodgers since the 3rd inning, since Teoscar Hernandez's grand slam.
And now they'll pinch run for Freddie, obviously.
He's been lurking off stage, a wild card, a potential pivot point based on which version of Robert Suarez shows up. Third in the National League with 36 saves, but struggled down the stretch. Looking for 4 outs. Tying run at first base in the form of Chris Taylor. And the grand slam hitter, Teoscar Hernandez, at the plate.
Swung on, popped up. Arise coming down the line from first on the grass cutout about halfway to home. He makes the catch, and the inning is over.
Well, you could see this coming, couldn't you? A finish like this, 1-run game, 9th inning. Dodgers trying to for the second time in their storied history. Robert Suarez, 7 saves this season in more than 1 inning. First appearance in a week. 1 gone in the 9th.
Ride the emotion of your crowd, and you just hope that doesn't elevate your fastball out of the zone. Incredible adrenaline rush.
Will Smith grounds the first one to short. Xander Bogaerts, 2 out. Gavin Lux, last hope for the Dodgers in Game 3. Padres a strike away from taking control of this series. The payoff pitch. Got him! Padres take Game 3. And take command in this best of 5, leading it 2 games to 1.
And if you think it was loud tonight, wait till tomorrow.
And it's followed the same pattern as 2 years ago. Dodgers take Game 1 at Dodger Stadium. Padres answer with a win in Game 2 in LA. They've brought it here to San Diego, and they'll try to continue that blueprint. Trying to topple the Dodgers for the second time in 3 years. In the lead by this crowd of 47,000 rabid Padres fans. And Fernando Tatis Jr. is with us down on the field. And Fernando, I know you've played in some great atmospheres in this park before. How did tonight compare?
It's just amazing. It's amazing. It's a beautiful time to be here. Man, what can I say? There's still a lot of work to do, but this is one step at a time. Definitely one step at a time.
We're having to read lips there. We might have lost him. We hear him?
They lost me.
Okay. You heard him on TV. I didn't hear him right here. I'm glad you heard him. That's the main thing. What do you got for him?
Well, Fernando, I've never seen anybody more locked in the first at bats. What is your secret sauce? I mean, what happened? You were 6 for 6 and you made it out.
Just coming out the gate, man, with a foot in the pedal. I mean, we're going since first pitch of the game, and we're showing up. I mean, that's the energy that we need. That was the energy that we have been putting on. Man, and that's the right way to start playoff games.
Now, what would it take? What would it mean to get the job done in front of your home fans tomorrow night?
It would be beautiful. That's what we're here for, and definitely going to try to do it for them out here.
Well, Fernando, we appreciate your time. Best of luck moving forward, and congratulations on a Game 3 win.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, so the Padres lead the series 2 games to 1 as Tatis hits a 2-run shot as part of that 6-run second inning. That capped off the 6 runs. Winds up being the difference in this game.
Thanks very much, and what a game it was. Padres take a 2-1 series lead, and welcome to the post-game show. You said it, but I'll say it again. Here with my guys, Derek Jeter, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, and away we go for San Diego. Why don't we start with Tatis, since we just heard him with Joe and John in the interview. Man, not only has he been lightning hot in these playoffs, he's got a flair for the dramatic, because that place, the roof blew off with his home run. It ended up being the difference in the game.
He's the guy that people come to watch, and he's got so much flair, so much ability, that when he hits home runs like that, he looks like he lives for his moments. And that fan base was going absolutely crazy today.
I love the fact that Machado is basically Tatis' role model. I mean, from the very beginning, when they start playing together, the relationship built up really well, and to the point where he's a leader for him, and he speak his brains up. They always talking about game situation, how they want to execute it. They had that communication in between the two of them, and here's the result. I mean, this kid, when he's locked in, he just a headache for pitchers. I mean, this guy can drive the ball all over the field, and when he's healthy, guys, it's no doubt that he's dangerous.
Yeah, it's easy game, huh? Like it just seems like it's an easy game for him. You know, he's locked in, to say the least. But you get to October, playing this time of the year, pitchers aren't just rearing back and saying, here, just hit it as far as you can. They have a game plan. You know, when we have these meetings going in the postseason, they bring every single scout they have in the organization, and they try to exploit every strength and weakness that you have. And he's been absolutely just dominant. So it's fun to watch. It really is.
You know, Derek, I know you have a sister. I have an older brother and a sister. But what it feels like, Kevin, is like the Dodgers have been the big brother for a long time. Go back many, many years, decades. But it looks now for the first time that the little brother's saying, you know what, I caught up. I remember the first time I caught up with my brother, he couldn't beat me anymore. And that's a good feeling. That's how the Padres feel today. They're no longer intimidated. They can play there, here, or anywhere. They feel they can beat the Dodgers, and that's powerful.
That is powerful. Let's go to the train station right now. Choo-choo! Dontrell in the train station. Bring on that train, and let's talk about the Tatis at bat. Now, that inning was just an onslaught. 6 runs came out of nowhere, but that home run was the pivotal home run, the pivotal runs in the game. How about pitching to Tatis there, and how did Walker Buehler try to do it, Train?
Well, I felt like Walker Buehler had good command. I know the numbers didn't show that, but I think he had good command of his breaking ball, particularly the cutter. But they tried to rush Tatis, and he's one of the hottest hitters on the planet. Let's look at this at bat, because Walker Buehler's velocity was anywhere from 94 to 96 miles an hour. So they wanted to speed his bat up. I felt like that was a well-thrown fastball on the edge where he cannot do any damage. This was a mistake pitch up there, but they tried to go up there again, and it wasn't high enough. And Tatis Jr. beat him to the spot. And as soon as that ball was barreled, we all knew that this baseball wasn't coming back. And when you're facing a guy this hot and you have options, it's rare to get ahead of him that far where you have a 1-2 or 0-2 account. I would have liked to see Walker kind of change his eye level or slow him down with the breaking ball. They chose to go with that fastball, and he did not miss it. So if you have a chance tomorrow to get ahead of him, you have to bounce that breaking ball just to slow him down and change his eye level, because if not, he's never going to come off that fastball, and too many times you've seen him do what he did tonight.
Yeah, beat him to the spot, no doubt about it. By the way, he's done that to a lot of people in the postseason. Think about just this postseason alone. He's got 4 home runs. He's 10 of 18. Come on, man. The highest OPS ever in a postseason, minimum 20 at-bats, 20 plate appearances, excuse me. I mean, that's what he is doing this first week plus of the postseason is just insane. And, you know, Derek, when you watch the Padres, evidence tonight with a 6-run inning in that second inning, we'll get into how it happened. They kind of avalanche you at home. They have this way at Petco where they don't score 1 run, they score 8 runs in an inning. They just kind of get it going like that.
Yeah, it's a crack in the door. They just blow through it. I mean, they got, we'll get into it like you said, but they got a couple extra outs there. And you can't give great teams extra outs in the playoffs. You're going to pay for it. They made them pay for it. But it seems like once someone gets a hit on San Diego, the doors fly off. I mean, it's just everyone just joins in. It's like they're running to the bat rack and trying to get a part of it or be a part of it. So this is a tough lineup to navigate through if you're a pitcher. I thought Walker Buehler did a great job. I mean, he really did. He had the 1 inning where he gave up 6. Like I said, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
There's some extra outs there, but I think he did a great job. But once again, as soon as they see some little weakness.
Well, why don't we go ask one of the guys who's right in the middle of it? Let's go to San Diego right now, and Jake Cronenworth joins us. Jake, it's Kevin Burkhardt and the Fox guys. Thanks for putting a headset on, man, and congrats on the win. I want to take you into that second inning. We were just talking about it. I was just saying, it seems like watching you guys this year at home, and really I guess the last couple of years, but especially recently, you just have these avalanche innings at home where you just pour it on in these certain innings. Can you just take us through what that feeling is and why you guys are so successful with those big innings at Petco?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the crowd. And, you know, they're into every at-bat, every pitch. But, you know, it all starts with that first guy in the inning. And, you know, once the first guy gets on and has a quality at-bat, it just seems like it trickles down the order. And that's something we've done really well all year.
Hey, Jake, Alex here. Congrats on the big win. I'm interested to know, because I've been watching this team for the last couple of years. From your point of view, being in that clubhouse, in that atmosphere, what is different this year than in years past?
Man, it's hard to say. We've had such good teams here in the past few years, and, you know, the 2022 team, and, you know, obviously last year's team was outstanding as well. But, man, this year, this group is such a family. And it didn't start in the off season or in spring training. It's just something that naturally happened over the course of the season. And, you know, the ups and downs that we had in the first half, and, you know, we kind of came out in the second half, and you could really see us lean on the experiences we had early and, you know, those successes we saw. And we just continue to grow on that and, you know, push in the second half.
Hey, Jake, Big Papi right here. Congratulations on that big win. Listen, when you guys played the Dodgers so much during the regular season, and you guys have a lot of back and forth going on, that ego as a player competing against the Dodgers seems like he had grown every year, year after year, coming from you guys. I see that you guys' body language competing against the Dodgers this year bigger and better than last year. Do you guys talk about it as a team?
No, I mean, that's a great team over there. And, obviously they're here for a reason. They're an outstanding team. And, it's awesome to compete against those guys because the games are, seemingly back and forth every time. But no, I think it goes back to that family piece and how close everybody is in that clubhouse and, what everybody feeds off of each other with and how everybody passes that baton and, picks up our pitchers. Maybe they have a rough inning or whatever it may be. And, I think that's the biggest difference for us is just that really it's such a family in there.
Jake, how are you? This is Derek, man. I was happy that they said you were going to be on because you're a University of Michigan, man. And we know a lot about noise at the big house here. So tell me a little bit about this San Diego crowd and how much you guys enjoy playing in front of the home crowd.
Man, this place is, I don't know if you guys have been out here recently, but this is something special that these fans bring. And, I don't think we'd be playing the way we play without them, to be honest. We have a great group, but those fans in the crowd, and they show up every single night from a day game on a Wednesday in July to, Game 3 of the NLDS, and, man, they're something special.
You see, he had his game face on until I mentioned University of Michigan. He started smiling. Look at that.
Hey, Jake, Papi here again, man. Hey, next game, can you guys guarantee me a win? Because I want Friday off, man.
I'll let you say that. That won't come out of my mouth. We're gonna play hard tomorrow and keep passing that baton.
So unselfish, Big Papi. Appreciate it. Jake, hey, thanks for joining on with us, man. Heck of a win, and we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate it.
Go Blue.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Go Blue.
Jake Cronenworth, a couple hits for him tonight. On base when Fernando hit that ball to the moon.
Here's the baseball. He landed it right here.
That's about accurate, by the way. Hey, so let's go back to that 6-run inning because we talked there was a lot of elements in that inning. And the first element really started is Manny Machado, right? He gets on, and it looked like certainly something he did on purpose, which turned out to be brilliant, got in the way of Freddie Freeman's throw. We were talking whether or not it was interference, and it was not. And guess what? It kind of was the dam that broke that started the whole thing.
Yeah, Freeman, he's played that ball beautifully. He made a really nice play. He has a lane right at the shortstop, and that lane is supposed to be his. Machado, it turns out, made a brilliant play because the umpires did not call it. So it's a smart play. But the umpires could have called it the other way, and that may change not only the complexion of that inning, but the entire ballgame.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I've never seen that happen and not be called interference. To your point, brilliant by Manny because they didn't call it interference. But Freddie did exactly what he could. All he could do was make the throw, but no one saw it. I think what was more confusing is no one even asked about it.
Right.
No one even brought it up. I found that to be a little bit confusing.
I guess the runner get the benefit of the doubt in that situation because your back is toward the first baseman. But I heard one of my sources called me during the game and told me,
I love it. Yes.
The Dominican Rosenthal right here.
There we go.
The Dominican Rosenthal right here. Don't forget about that. So one of my sources called me and told me that Manny used to practice that all the time with his former manager, Bo Showalter.
Oh, that's really interesting because when you think about it, so the runner, the rule is you can create your own lane. You can't intentionally interfere with the throw, right? So that's kind of open to interpretation. But, Papi, it's interesting you mentioned that because, guys, when we were watching it, it looked like he looked back at Freddie to see where he was and kind of shimmied over a little. So it looked like he did it on purpose.
Probably the first couple of steps, he did that. But in your mind, as a base runner, the first thing you do when you are running at first base is pick where the first baseman is playing at. So you have an idea where you want to go in case the ball is hit to the first baseman. That's what Manny especially did in that situation. He was aware. He was aware where Freddie was playing at, so he know where he's going to go. Because if you look at the play, he started running in the outside, and then he took off into the inside. That means he was aware where Freddie was playing at. Look at the play right here. Look at the play. Couple of steps outside, and then he ran in. Boom. Smart play by Manny right there.
Papi, let me see that ball. Let me.
There you go.
So, Kevin, as a catcher, when you show up to spring training, the first thing you get taught as a catcher is when there's a bunt and that runner gets in your way, you're taught hit him right between the numbers, and that's an automatic out. The first baseman is the same rule. If that guy, Machado, comes way in the lane, 3 or 4 feet into the grass. If you hit him between the numbers, he's supposed to be out. Now, it's a judgment call. The umpires did not call it. They did not review it, which was confusing to all of us.
You can't review that.
You can't review it.
You cannot review interference or obstruction.
That's
so
why we have
once
Kevin.
it wasn't called, they couldn't do it. But your point is, they add umpires for the series. No one called it. No objection. It was very
and
interesting.
no meetings or anything. And the point is, Machado is, by the way, if he does nothing, he's out. If he tries it, it's a 50-50 shot. And in this case, he won out.
Good job by Manny. It's just funny. Manny's just always in the middle of everything, right?
You know what he's doing out there, man. He know what he's doing.
Yeah. But I mean, think about from his aspect. First of all, I guess if you're looking from the umpire point of view, it's hard to say that he intentionally interfered. It wasn't like he was waving his hands, right? So you could go that argument.
It reminds me of Reggie Jackson back in the World Series against the Dodgers when he hit the ball with his hip.
Yeah, that's you were a teenager. The hip check.
But it's a brilliant play.
My sources told me that was cool, too.
And by the way, let's just give some credit, fellas. The umpires do a tremendous job.
No doubt.
But there is a blind spot there, because if you're the second base umpire, your focus is on the bag and you have a lot of other responsibilities. You're not looking at Manny. You're looking at what's happening around the bag. The guy at first is checking out that. So it's a little bit of a blind spot, and, Manny took advantage of it. Well done.
Let's not forget, Freddie Freeman is one of the best first basemen in the game.
Indeed.
If he's on his feet, he will create an angle, Kevin, so he can have that clear throw.
Sure.
But remember, he dove for the ball. He had no other choice than just throw from there.
I don't know they turned 2 there because Jackson Merrill's running.
Right.
I also I'm amazed and impressed you were calling sources during the game to find out.
My bad. I'm doing my homework.
And Derek is watching.
This guy spent 3 hours watching video
9 hours
yesterday.
of video.
We put our work in.
He didn't watch 9 hours of video when he played.
I feel Alex. I feel outworked. We need
for sure.
Hey, my
Want to
sources
go watch film tonight?
Kevin, my sources told me it's time to go to break. So let's go.
All right. Sounds like a good plan. Poppy sources say time to go to break.
It's 26 players that everyone's got to be available in whatever capacity. We've got to win tomorrow night to then pick up the pieces for Game 5. I don't know how that's going to look, but certainly these guys came out with energy. We responded with the big Teo homer, and I feel good about preventing runs. But again, we still got to play good defense too.
It's amazing. It's the same narrative for the Dodgers. Postseason starting pitching, and a lot of it, injury is involved. This year they've put 1 million of their starting pitchers on the injured list and haven't gotten them back. But it's like that's been their deal, right? They win all these games in the regular season. They don't have a healthy rotation. And I just wonder how they're going to try to piece it together to get to a Game 5 and then figure it out.
You know what I've been wondering, Kevin, and we've been covering the Dodgers because they're in this, playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Starting pitching is still a theme that works, right? It's been 4 years since a Dodger starting pitcher has pitched 6 innings in a postseason, in the entire postseason. It's never happened in the history of the game, 160 years, where the entire postseason, you've never had one starter go at least 6 innings. That's a problem this year, and it has been for a $300 million payroll.
Absolutely. But let me tell you, Kevin, when you are against the wall like that, tomorrow, before the first inning, everybody had their spies on the bullpen, ready to pitch an inning or whatever situation you had to face. Tomorrow, there's not tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that?
It's late. Explain that one again. The folks at home need to understand this.
Tomorrow, there's not another tomorrow. You got to think about tomorrow so you can get to the next day. You like that?
Are you writing that, Kevin? Gee, did you get that?
Tomorrow, there is not tomorrow. From the great philosopher, Big Poppy.
Hey, you know what? It's almost midnight, so it's today already, right? So there's not tomorrow.
Midnight in the East Coast.
What was the question?
Tomorrow.
Here's my question. Do you feel good on a bullpen game with your season on the line? That's my question.
No, I don't feel good about it. To his point, look, we're talking about the Mets, Minaya. Look what he did today. You have to have starting pitching. Not saying that they can't win a game, but the common theme for the Dodgers over the years, they have great regular seasons. They go home in the playoffs. The reason why they're going home in the playoffs is because you need starting pitch. I get the fact that they have a strong bullpen. That is very important. But you can't rely on the bullpen every single day in these short series because you're going to burn them out. You need some starters to go the distance.
Derek, let me ask you a question. If you have a great bullpen, not good, but great, October 3rd, and you overuse them, are you going to be great by October 30th?
No.
They're going to wear down.
Yeah.
The last guy that threw 6 innings for the LA Dodgers was Max Scherzer in 2021. This is a $300 million payroll. You have to address starting pitching, or else you're not going to win championships.
And for those people that say, well, you know, they used the bullpen the entire year, this particular team or that used the bullpen the entire year. You're using a lot of different pieces in the bullpen. You get to the postseason, you're rolling with 3 or 4 guys.
You're in trouble.
That's right.
And you got to use them day in and day out in high leverage moments.
Look at the screen. TBD versus Cease. So Dylan Cease, by the way, going on short rest, which is something he doesn't normally do, but they had some other options. They're going with Cease, who, you know, I guess kind of their co-ace, who did not pitch great, by the way, on Saturday. So we'll see how that works out for San Diego, but probably feel better about Cease than TBD necessarily.
And I love short rest for Cease. I love short rest.
Why?
I love short rest.
TBD not good, Kevin.
No, that's even worse.
Nah.
But I remember that our guy CC, all our guys went shorter. When you pitch shorter, you have the adrenaline. You have the adrenaline of that incredible fan base going crazy. A little bit calmer. You don't try as hard. It's not a velocity test. It's about a pitchability. And you focus more on pitching, executing your pitches, not on how fast you're throwing. I like that a lot.
That's interesting. We'll see how it works out, but the Padres with a chance to advance tomorrow.